Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John and I have a new album review by the band Blackberry Smoke. So the name of the album is called You Hear Georgia. So before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings and more. So Blackberry Smoke, they are a rock band from Atlanta, Georgia. Their style can be considered like a mix of country, southern rock, and the blues. So here's a photo of the band. And you can just see they're just a bunch of guys just wearing hats, got the long beards, and I bet you didn't notice that's myself photoshopped in the picture. So let me start again. This is Blackberry Smoke. So the band is Charlie Starr on lead vocals, Brit Turner on bass and vocals, Brit Turner on drums, Paul Jackson on guitar and vocals, and Brandon Still on keyboards. So they have 7 studio albums, 2 live albums, 5 EPs, and this is all over the course of the past 20 years. So this is a band, they've basically they're very consistent and they're a very hard-working band. So basically this band is like a mix of Leonard Skinner and the Allman Brothers with some like modern country and some outlaw country. I really like the album. There are a lot of like southern guitar riffs. The guitars have this really nice like dirty distortion level. So it's enough to cater to like the hard rock fan, but also like the country fan would also like this type of music. There is some just straightforward like country music on the album, and even if you're not a country fan, you know, you might like it. It's really the kind of album that you listen to if you kind of want to give country a chance, but you don't really want to go, you know, full force into it. So it's kind of nice, like listening to country mixed in with a little of the rock. So it's kind of like a good way to kind of ease into it. That is if you are not a country fan. I know most people who watch my channel are rock fans. But there's a lot going on this album. There's a lot of like slide guitar, there's keyboards, there's bluesy guitar licks, there's like this like honky tonk songs, there's some like Rolling Stones influences. So I'm going to go through all the songs, then I'll go right to my final score. So there are 10 songs with 40-minute runtime. So the first song is called Live It Down. It starts with a really bluesy guitar riff. The vocals reminded me a little of like the Black Crowes. This is just a straightforward southern rock song. You do hear some organ and some backup singers. It does add a little flavor to the song. The guitars have this nice like dirty distortion level. There are some like bluesy riffs during the breakdown. It does remind me a little of like some early Aerosmith riffs. The next is the title track called You Hear Georgia, and this is more of a country music song. There's some pretty cool like slide guitar playing on the song, some pretty cool like bluesy guitar riffs. This one's a little slower than the one before it. Has some cool keyboards in the background, and really like the guitar solo on this one. After that is Hey Delilah, and this song has more of like a honky tonk sound. This has like a classic country influence, some really nice guitar licks, some piano playing, the rhythm guitars, they're like lightly distorted, kind of gives it a feel of like a rock feel. But this is more of a country western song, so it's the kind of song you imagine coming out of like a jukebox in a bar. I really like the part with the backup singers doing a guitar solo, and I think that sounded really well. The next song is called Ain't the Same, and it's another straightforward country song, and one of those songs that tells a story. So the guitars sound good, there's a piano in the background, works very well, and the song does slow down during the breakdown. I really like that part, and it does help convey the story. Next is a song called Lonesome for a Living, and this one features Jamie Johnson, and he's a country music artist. And this is probably like the most like country sounding song on the entire album. I mean, just the title alone, like Lonesome for a Living, I mean, that just sounds like a country song. The song is a duet. There are some verses sung by Charlie and Jamie. So Jamie has more like a bluesy or like an outlaw country style. And his singing, I think it worked very well. You know, if you're a fan of some of the like old country artists like Willie Nelson or Waylon Jennings, you'd probably like this song. After that is All Rise Again, and this song brings back that like hard rock, southern rock feel. Starts off with a really nice, dirty, distorted guitar riff, and this one features Warren Hayes. So he was the guitarist for the Allman Brothers and also a founding member of Government Mule. Some really great bluesy vocals on this, and I like the tone of the guitar during the solo. And just that guitar tone, I really like that part. That's probably like the standout of the song. After that is Old Enough to Know, and this is an acoustic ballad. It just starts out with some fingerpick guitar. This again is more of a country song. It reminded me of like a Willie Nelson song. Some really nice like blues guitar licks. The lyrics are very well written, and I really like the fingerpicked guitar with the piano. I think they work very well together. After that is a song called Morningside, and this is more of a rocker. It just starts out with a great like blues guitar riff. This one's fairly slow, filled with a lot of emotion, and the guitar riff is very memorable. It does have like a melodic solo filled with a more like a bluesy guitar solo. And this one is a really nice blend of that like rock and country. After that is All Over the Road, and another rocker. And the band that came to mind when I heard this is the Rolling Stones. Just straightforward blues rock, some great guitar playing, and some great like slide guitar riffs. This is more of like an upbeat rocker. I really like how it like slows down like halfway through the song. Really like the use of the organ in the background and the bluesy lead guitar work. The last song is called Old Scarecrow. This is more of a bluesy southern rock song. Has some pretty cool guitar riffs. Really nice blend of country music and like southern rock. And this one has like all the elements of like both genres, and this is basically like the overall sound of the band. The guitar solo is really great, and it's more of like a rocking solo. And this is a really good way to end off the album. So in conclusion, I want to say that I'm not really a fan of country music, and I'm not saying I hate it. It's just like one of those genres that never really interested me to just like go out and like listen to the music. I like a lot of southern rock bands, such as like Leonard Skinner, the Allman Brothers, the Rolling Stones, and like Black Crowes. And this band does a really good job of mixing country and southern rock, and they do it in a way not to alienate like the hardcore fans from like either genre. Now there was a similar album released recently by the band Dirty Honey, and I'll be honest with you, I did like this one a lot better than the Dirty Honey album. This one just has a lot more variety, there's more risks, there's a lot more going on in the songs, and I actually like the album more than I thought it would. So for that reason, I'll give it a 9 out of a 10. And if I ever do want to get into country music, I will probably start just like with this band's catalog and take it from there, because this is really a good band just to like transition into that genre. So that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and if you've heard any of the other albums from this band, let's get a conversation going. This is probably the only new release I will be doing this weekend, so I'll probably start my top 50 tomorrow. I already made the list, I wrote it down, and if I was going to make like a top 100, I probably could have, because I compiled the list fairly quickly, but I had to keep going back because I kept like forgetting about this band and the other band, and I wanted to make sure that all of like the core bands of what I enjoyed and what I grew up with made the top 50. So hopefully tomorrow I will start with 50 to 46. Stay tuned. Check out the other links. I'll post my Dirty Honey review if you haven't seen it. And I'll see you in the next one.